Hey kiddos, I'm Officer Ortiz with the Helotes Police Department. Let me talk to you a little bit about myself. I've been in law enforcement for 17 years. I was at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office for 5 of those years. Um, I live out here, my kids go to school out here, so naturally I said, let's come work out here. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about what it takes to be a police officer. So all the police officers have to go to school and get their what's called a peace officer license. And that class is more or less about a year long. And some of the stuff that we go through and they teach us in there is they teach us about Texas laws, they teach us how to talk to people, how to work with people, how to be helpers, and listeners, you know. And some of the stuff that you guys are doing right now, sitting in y'all's classroom, you guys are already learning some of that stuff. I'm talking about writing, reading and writing. For example, if your teacher were to give you an assignment and say, you know what, let's write, I want you to write a short little story for me and tell me about what you did when you got home from school yesterday. And if you guys were to turn in a paper that says, I went outside and played, the end, do you think she might be okay with that? Probably not. She's looking for details. She's looking for, you know, a little more stuff like that. So what if you were to put, when I got home, I went outside, we played basketball, we rode the scooter, I was with my friends, it was warm outside, it was sunny. So those are all detailed stuff. And the point I'm trying to get at is right now, if I were to get a call for a vehicle driving fast, a reckless driver, something like that, what they would tell me is Officer Ortiz, they wouldn't just tell me, Officer Ortiz, you're looking for a blue truck. They're gonna wanna go into details. They're gonna want that stuff, just like I'm gonna put in my report. They're gonna know, is it a newer truck? Is it a Ford? Is it a Dodge? Does it have any stickers on it? Is there any damage to that vehicle? Stuff like that, those detailed stuff is what's gonna help me find that vehicle, and that's what I'm gonna put in my report. So what you guys are doing right now is getting your self ready for years to come. But enough about that, let's talk about a little bit what I have on. Can anybody guess how much all my equipment weighs, just more or less? I'll give you guys a second. All my equipment on, my boots, my belt, my vest, roughly weighs about 20 pounds. Can you imagine walking around every day, running, jumping, doing all this stuff with the extra 20 pounds on? It gets a little heavy, but that's why it's so important that you eat right, you exercise, and stay healthy. Let's talk a little bit about what my kids call the bat belt. My kids will talk about this and say, oh, that's Dad's bat belt. And just like Batman has a utility belt, we have ours. So I keep my magazines, which are my bullets. I have my taser. I'll have my radio, my flashlight. I have my 2 handcuffs. I'll have my baton, my gun. I've got pepper spray, and of course my phone usually goes right here. And that's what I have to have on me every single day, just like Batman with his utility belt. But that's what my kids like to call Dad's bat belt. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about my police car. Inside my police car, guys, we have our computer, and our computer is going to tell us where to go. Dispatch is going to send us messages saying, Officer Ortiz, here's where you need to go, here's what you need to do. We have our radar unit is right up here, and this is how we get the speeders for if you're driving a little too fast. There's our radar right there to the front, and if you look above, you'll see the lights on the car. Those are the lights, and get ready for the loud noise. Guys, that's just some of the neat stuff that we get to do with on a daily basis. Well, I have a little surprise for you guys. One of our friends with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Herrera, is going to come and show you a nice little thing, and we brought his dog. And this is Deputy Herrera.
Hi there, Deputy George Herrera. I'm with the Sheriff's Office. Max, Platz! Platz! This is my canine partner, Maximus. Platz.
Max.
He is also a sheriff's deputy. He has his own badge. His badge number is 4, just like Officer Ortiz has a badge. I have a badge. All of us, when we become police officers, we get badges. Max, sorry, you didn't say hello. Say hello. Good boy. Max likes to say hello. He goes by Maximus. Platz, quiet. His full name is Maximus, but he goes by Max. He helps us quite a bit. He helps other agencies like Helotes when they need help with the police canine. Max is a 4-year-old Belgian Malinois. He lives with me at home. What his job is he helps me to find narcotics or drugs, bad drugs, and he also helps me find bad people. When somebody, for example, takes off running from us and we can't find them in the brush because people can sometimes get a head start, or maybe they've been, we didn't see exactly where they went because they ran out of a building, we can use Max, and Max will help us locate those people by using his nose. His nose is what he uses to help us find everybody. So he has a good way of searching objects, vehicles, cars, luggage, things along that lines, where he uses his nose, and he's trained to help us find certain kinds of narcotics. Now, the really cool thing about Max and me is that not only do we work together, but we also live together. So I also have some small children that live at the house. I have a 4th grader and a kindergartner that live with me and Max. And so when we're not at work, then we're at home. And he's just a really, really highly trained house pet. Now, just like Officer Ortiz grew up here, I grew up here in San Antonio, Texas. However, Max, he got to grow up far, far away. So some of you kids might be from other states or other cities, and maybe not from here, or Texas maybe, but you moved here because maybe your parents for work or the military or something. Lots. Bleiben. Max came from a place far away called the Czech Republic. So Max had to take an airplane ride to get here and come and live here about 2 years ago. Quiet. Max is a little excited, as you can see. Lots. Now with Max, I know some of y'all get to hear Spanish and English talk maybe at your house or at home, or when you go to you go to a restaurant or something. Usually you hear Spanish or English. With Max, I have to talk to him in Dutch. It's just a different dialect, just like Spanish and English. But Max commands are off, seats, lighten, good boy, Platz. So these are all different commands that mean different things for Max, so that way he understands what I'm telling him to do. Now, kennel. So Max is gonna go back to his kennel here for a second so I can talk, get him to calm down for a second. He's a little amped up. But I'm gonna show you a couple of things that we do for Max just to help him kind of burn some energy. So where we like to work out, or maybe you like to play basketball or do certain things, ride a bike to wear yourself out and burn some of that energy that you have. With Max, he's like a ball of energy. He's like the Energizer bunny that just keeps going and going. So I'm gonna show you a couple of cool little tricks that I work on, because again, Max is trained to help us find people. Well, while we find people that do bad things, we usually put handcuffs on them, obviously to take them to jail. For Max, when he finds bad people, he can't put handcuffs on them. So what he has to use to hold those people so I can take them into custody, or other officers and I can get those people into custody, is he uses his mouth. So he has the ability to bite and hold people. Now, he doesn't want to hurt people. It's the last thing that we want to do. But unfortunately, sometimes people do anything and everything they can to get away, and they leave us no choice but to have to use Max to hold them until we can get them into custody. So I'm going to show you a little something that we do with a bite pillow that kind of helps when Max is used for something like that. Slide it. It's going to come right over here. Platz. Platz. Off, life. So Max listens very well. That's part of it. You know, the hardest thing about being a police officer is not only do you have to be, go to school, get all your education, like Officer Ortiz was telling you, you got to be, get all your classes done. But the biggest thing is you have to have patience. That's very hard to teach people. You have to have it inside of you. But especially when you're dealing with Max or a canine, you're responsible for teaching that canine everything it needs. Now, a lot of it is fun time, just like right now, while Max is listening to me, he knows in a minute he's gonna have fun with this bite pillow. This is one of his favorite toys. He gets to bite it, and we play Max's favorite game. Okay, Max actually has a favorite game that we can't show you out here, and I'm sure maybe if you think about it, what is a favorite game that you and your friends love to play maybe at school? Off. Well, if you're like Max, his favorite game is to play hide and seek, because he loves it when bad people go hide things, either drugs or themselves, and Max goes and finds them. So that's his favorite thing. His second favorite game that he loves to play is maybe you get to play it every once in a while in PE class with the rope, with maybe your friend on one side and you on the other. And can you guess what that game is called? That's right, it's called tug of war. Aport. So as you can see, this is Max's second favorite game. He loves to play tug of war. Now Max is very, very strong. And right now, all he's trying to do is take this away from me. Until I either let him take it, or I tell him to stop. Max, out. Off. Out. Off. Off. So who wants to see Officer Ortiz hold it and do it, right? Let's see how strong. He's a big, strong guy. Let's see him do it. Live it. Hold it on the outside like that. Yeah. Just hold it right there in front of him. Upward. Good boy. Hold it, Max. So right now, even Officer Ortiz is helping me train Max. Look at that. He's a big, strong guy, and Max is dragging him around like he's a little bitty guy. Max, out. Sit. You can just hold it. Put it down next to you. Blots. Blots. Liven. So as you can see, these are some of the cool things that we do with Max to wear him out a little bit. Now, he can only have these toys when I let him. He knows he can't have it until I tell him he can have it. So it goes back to his training. Just like we are trained quite a bit, Max is trained quite a bit. Upward. Good boy. Out. Out. Now, just like we have a police car, Maximus, out. Off. Blythe. Nay-by. 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 Good boy. Go to your kennel. So who wants to see my Tahoe? Well, it's just like the other police Tahoe. Obviously, you saw Officer Ortiz's Tahoe. They use what's called Explorers. We use Chevy Tahoes. Now, both of them do the same job, except that with mine, Max has a special room. And I'll go ahead and show you that special room that Max has. So that's all the equipment that I keep that helps me train Max, but also do my job. Max has his water. He has all kinds of treats and toys and cleaners in here. And then I'm part of a special unit, so we carry special tools that we use. Now this is Max's room. Now Max in there has air conditioning, he has heating, he has his drink. He's got a slip-proof bed on the bottom so he doesn't slide around when I'm driving either really fast or have to stop real quick. He's got his own light back there. The only thing he doesn't have that I'm sure he would wish he does is a TV and an Xbox, because I'm sure he would really love that, just like you kids would probably really love that in your room if you don't have one. So that's Max. Max, say bye. Good boy. Say bye. Good boy. So that's pretty much what I do.
Well, students, I just want to say, be good listeners, be helpers. Remember, make good choices. That is the best thing right now. Make good choices and be kind. Be kind, and thank you, Deputy Herrera, for coming out and showing us Max. We appreciate that.
Thanks for letting us come out and meet all you kids, and I hope y'all had fun and got to see the different types of police work that are available to you one day when you get older.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, and you guys be safe.